I still see your face and the stars overhead as I sleep. When I first got here, I was alone, but you carry me now like you carried her then. We'll both throw the same in the end, and time will decide how you survive. Will I weather the storm or just curl up and die without you by my side? I'm not scared anymore, but I still see your face and the stars overhead as I sleep. I'm not lost anymore. I wish I could hear your voice one more time. Leaves on the trees remind me of home. Sway in the breeze, sing me asleep. And I'll always be wondering, do you still look for me? Do you listen to voicemails I left years ago? I'm not scared anymore, but I still see your face and the stars overhead as I sleep. When I first got here, I was alone, but you carry me now like you carried her then. We'll both throw the same in the end, and time will decide how you survive. Will I weather the storm or just curl up and die without you by my side? trees remind me of home. Sway in the breeze, sing me to sleep. And I'll always be wondering, do you still look for me? Do you listen to voicemails I left years ago? I'm not scared anymore, but I still see your face and the stars overhead as I sleep. When I first got here, I was alone, but you carry me now like you carried her then. We'll both roll the same in the end, and time will decide how I survive. Will I weather the storm or just curl up and die without you by my side?
Hello. How's everyone doing? So hopefully we're live on all our platforms. I've been doing a few tests the past while, and hopefully I've got us live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and as well my personal Facebook profile. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running through a mix that I'm going to be doing of a track that was recorded during lockdown. So basically, this is the sort of aim of this video, is to show you that you can record something. Graham sprinted the last mile of his run to get back in time. Very good. So yeah, we're basically going to be going through this entire track. Now, it's not a very big track, as you can see. We're working with about 7 tracks in total. We've got acoustic guitar, banjo, fiddle, electric guitar, a main vocal, and 2 harmonies. It's gonna be fairly simplistic mix, but we're just gonna run through the whole thing. So a little bit about the track. The track was recorded between Graham McKinstry and 2 of his bandmates, and it was all recorded in their house, basically. A few people use different ways of recording, but we're going to play a little video of Graham explaining everything about that. That'll only take about 2 minutes with some beautiful background music from David Purvis. Hope you enjoy.
Hello, how's it going? So the song you just listened to, or the song you're about to listen to, was recorded entirely in my house with very, very few pieces of equipment, none of which were particularly expensive, and I'm going to run you through them just so you can see what I used, make sure that I'm not lying, and if you want to replicate what we did as well, this is a pretty handy way to do it. I'll start with the microphone I'm using. It's a Sennheiser E835. This is what I have right now. My other equipment is up in Belfast, and I'm currently staying with my parents, so it's not feasible for me to go get it. Guitar is my Taylor. Obviously can't control what guitar you've got, but I have DI'd it. I didn't use a condenser microphone or any other microphone setup. As a matter of fact, for this, it's literally a guitar jack straight into the interface that I'm using to record into. The interface that I'm using is a very, very simple 2-input interface. It's got a microphone input and line input. It's a lexicon. I don't know if you can still buy them. I have no idea. This was loaned to me by a friend. Digital audio workstations, which are the things you record into, they can be quite expensive sometimes if you want to buy them, and if you don't want to obtain them illegally, which I would never ever suggest that you do, you can get some pretty awesome free pieces of software. The one that I'm using currently is called Cakewalk, and I'll do a little screen record just so you can see what way it kind of works, what way it looks, and the kind of effects you can expect to get with it. Obviously, I didn't actually use any of the effects in this particular recording because I just recorded it all dry and sent it to Oran to mix, but it's very, very powerful as a free DAW. In terms of the other instruments you can hear on the track, you can obviously hear some fiddle and banjo. That's 100% not me. That's Aaron and Mary from my band, the Springheel Jacks, and it turned out really well. Actually, it doesn't sound terrible. The camera microphones on their phones are quite good, actually, considering what they are, and it just shows what you can do with material that maybe isn't professionally recorded, or maybe isn't even recorded with actual gear like microphones. That about wraps it up. I think I've talked for far too long, and there's probably been a substantial amount of this cut out. Enjoy the track. If you've got any questions about any of the gear, or any questions about how we mixed it, or what plugins we used, or anything like that, give us a shout, and I'm sure we'll be able to help you out with that one. Peace.
Okay, thanks very much for watching that. That was a wee video Graham shot at home, and it was actually before we decided that we were going to do this live. It was going to be a pre-recorded video, but he decided to shoot that in his house just to explain a little bit about it. And we had beautiful music in the background by David Purvis. As you can see, there's a few changes. If you're watching on Facebook, we've got a little, no, it's this way. We've got a little comment section where it basically shows all the comments from people that are posting up on it. I'm hoping that it shows from basically whatever platform. The only thing we can't get on is Instagram, but won't worry too much about that. So we're going to just jump straight in. So all I've really done this track so far is I just cut a bit of noise and stuff out from the banjo track. We're probably gonna, the first thing I want to do, and the first thing I normally do whenever I'm working on tracks like this, is I like to color code things, because that's just me. I like to be able to quickly see the color difference in a couple of tracks, and plus it makes things a little less mundane and a little bit more interesting to look at. By the way, I would prefer to mix stuff through speakers rather than using headphones. That's just my personal preference. So I'm going to be using the speakers, which means I just have to mute the microphone sometimes when I'm doing a bit of work, or maybe try not doing that just to see if there's any spill or anything. But first things first, we're going to color code things. A lovely red on the acoustic. And then we'll make all the vocals one color as well. Okay, so normally if this was a bigger session, what I'd be doing would be putting things into certain folders, you know, all the drums into a folder, all the guitars into a folder, all the vocals into a folder, but we're lucky enough this time that we don't have such a big track. So I've basically everything at 0 here. Nothing's been changed. Everything's just completely 0. No effects on it apart from this. I've got just a compressor on this vocal, and we're using this to stream to OBS. Hopefully, yeah, everything's working. Yeah, so I'm just going to play the track the way it is. This is the way it sounds, imported straight into the track.
my chains behind the bed, in a coffee can. I keep my chains in just in case I have to leave. I will go if you listen to. I will stay if you dare. If I go, I'm going on fire. Let my anger take me there.
So that's just a quick listen to what the track sounds like completely bare. It actually sounds quite good. As Graham mentioned in that little video, he recorded the vocals and the guitar himself at home, and then the banjo and fiddle was just recorded through I think it was actually the iPhone microphone, just when the video was being recorded as well. So I will normally what I start off doing is bring everything just completely dead. Keep the talkback microphone up, Oran. And normally pick something to start with. There's a couple of ways you can go about this. You can some people like to start off with the vocals, build the track around the vocals. I like to start with the instruments, make the instruments sounding decent and building everything around that. So let's take a listen to the acoustic guitar first. Okay, so it's a D-eyed acoustic. Sounds like a D-eyed acoustic. Quite a nice D-eyed acoustic. It's not very unnatural like you hear from a lot of them. I can see a bit of madness going on up here. Let me just check. So you can hear there and probably see that there's a bit of clipping happening there, and that just happens to be the way it was recorded. Nothing that can be done about that really now, apart from just bringing it down so it doesn't clip in playback. You can see there from the fader that it's not clipping anymore. That's just that was just the way it was recorded. So there's nothing really I can do about that. So I'm just going to do a bit of EQing on this. Sort of what I'm doing is I'm not just sort of going on presets or anything like that. I'm just kind of listening to it through the speakers and doing what I can. Oh, hello, Ethan Williamson. Yeah, so just doing a bit more of that. I want to take out some of that low end that's gonna mess up the mix once you start adding more instruments in. Quite a dull sound as well. I'm just going to try and brighten it up a little. Pulling a little bit out there at the 2K mark, just to make a bit of room for the vocals whenever they come out. I'm gonna also add a bit of compression on it. One of my favorite compressors is the API 2500. I spoke about that in a few other videos. Let me just hear it here. Graham, I bet you did just leave that in there just for me just to have to fix. So that sound quite nice. It's just nothing major on the compression, just to sort of control it a little bit better. And then I'll maybe just smooth it out with a bit of reverb soon. So the way I like to, which most people do, with the reverb is normally set up as a send track. So I'm having quite a lot of fun recently using the Fab filter. So as you can see, it's still on trial. I literally downloaded it a couple of weeks ago. And it's got some really, really cool presets in it, and I've been playing around with them. So I'll maybe play a bit with one of them. I was using this the other day, and it's fabulous. Excuse the buttons. Actually, this removes the Fab filter. Just remembered that it gives me a little bit of problems when it comes to the actual processing of it. So we're going to go with a little trick here that I normally do. This is the IR Live by Waves. So I'm going to get the IR Lives, and I'm going to get another one called... So I'm going to get these two. I'll set them to yes. Let's pull quite a lot of the lows out there. So I'm pulling the low end out of the reverb because the lows kind of muddle up quite a lot of reverb sounds. That's just the nature of reverb. If you have too much of it, it can be a little bit crazy. So what I like to do then with them is take the actual send track, pan the IR to the far left, and pan the mani all the way to the right. So let's bring a bit on the acoustic here. So that's not enough reverb. We need more. So we'll add that on another 5 times. No, we're joking. That's just the way. That's the way Cubase rolls for some reason. Just gonna grab my headphones as well. Headphones are a really good way of actually finding out if you have too much reverb on a track. I found myself mainly getting a little bit looped up and putting reverb on through the speakers, and it doesn't sound like a lot to the speakers because I don't know, maybe it's something to do with not being able to differentiate between the reverb and the track and the reverb in the room and stuff. But putting your headphones on gives you a good idea of like the space and stuff you're creating there. You can sort of find out if it's too much or too little. Okay, we'll work with that for the time being. Now this is just going to be a speedy enough mix. We're 28 minutes in, hopefully have it read up in less than an hour. So the banjo is fun. The banjo is the first instrument. Wow, hear that? That's crazy. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Let me see. So, could maybe get most of this out with EQing. You can hear that wee fluff in there. That you obviously you can't hear it when the track's playing, but it was the effect of a little bit of quantizing that was needed. Just a bit of compression on the track as well. Don't know if you can hear the rain in the background, but it's fairly violent. Yeah, so that's actually cleaned up. This take a little listen between the two, the way it was before and the way it is now. Very boxy before. It sounds like what it is. It's like a sort of squashed in iPhone recording, but that's making it have a little bit more of a place. We'll put the reverb in next. We'll listen to it with the acoustic. So, putting a bit of reverb on it, just going to send it to the same thing that the guitar is going to. Yeah, so that's sitting not too bad with that. So let's take a listen to the fiddle / violin. Different strokes for different folks and all that. Hi, that doesn't sound too bad. For what it is, like it doesn't sound bad at all. Take a little bit of that upper high end off, just because sometimes we can get a bit of that a scraping sound from that. Yeah, a bit of compression needed as well. Lovely. So, just gonna try and add it in with the track. You see you panned the banjo over a bit there as well. So we're just going to do the same to the fiddle, just to give it kind of the same sort of space as the banjo. That would annoy me if it was 41. Yeah, so leaving the violin just sort of taking over the mix a little bit more, because it's playing throughout the whole thing. So just thought it would make more sense. Let's move on to the electric guitar. Do do do. We're having a few glitches there. Not too sure. Ooh. Oh, hello. We've got a dog. That was my dog barking. He's called Pete. He's amazing. He'll maybe make an appearance on the live stream someday. So yeah, the electric guitar actually sounds quite nice. Graham's obviously put a little bit of stuff on it. He did send me an unprocessed track, but I kind of like the sort of chorusy effect or phaser, whatever that he has going on there. So that's a bit more EQ in that. Graham, feel free to share some music direction. Yeah, that's probably where Graham's just saying there, if you can see it, chatting about taking bits and pieces out. Now, this is more of a mix video, but I'm going to get the tracks sort of all together first, and then if I feel anything sort of intruding over the top of stuff, then I'll look about taking it out. Don't tell me how to do my job, Graham. Jeez, man. So let's try and add it into the track, see where it wants to sit. I kind of feel that it wants to sit more in the background, not protruding out like crazy there. It's kind of a bit more like something that's filling out the mix more than anything. We'll just leave it where it is for the time being. Bring in the vocals here.
This she's holding secrets.
Just bring it in there.
Gone.
Sorry, I just realised you just couldn't hear me there. But yeah, the vocals seem to be the loudest thing in the track so far. So I'm just gonna fire a bit of compression.
My chains behind the bed in a coffee can. I keep my chains in just in case I have to leave. I will go I will stay every day. If I go out.
As Graham mentioned also in the video, he's doing or he recorded it without a pop filter and stuff. So there's a lot of this sort of sound, basically what you can hear when I'm talking. So what we're using is we're just using the compression to sort of pull those bits down because they do really sort of pop through and can make it go a little bit crazy. These are the sort of simple things that kind of happen when you're recording just at home or, you know, on the budget and stuff like that. But there are ways around it, and you can get a decent sound out of, you know, stuff like that. Sorry, my tea's getting cold, so I'm going to try and drink it. So I've actually squashed them down quite a lot because you can even see from the waveform that it starts off very small and almost peaks in parts. So I'm just going to squash that and push up the volume with the makeup key.
This she's holding secrets.
So that's a bit more controlled. Now we need to just EQ his voice. It's a bit loud.
Got my chains behind the bed in a coffee can. I keep my chains in just in case I have to leave. I will go if you ask me to.
Still to this day, I don't know why Cubase makes that like sort of glitch thing anytime you add effects and stuff on.
I will go if you ask me to. I will stay every day. If I go, I'm going on fire. Let my anger take me there. Oh, this she's quiet.
Sorry, I just heard something that I want to do, and I just want to add a bit of so the delay is actually synced up to the BPM of the track, so it'll keep the actual pulse of the delay the same as the track. Oh, that's lovely.
my chains behind the bed in a coffee.
So the delay has made it a little bit harder to hear in the mix. Just gonna add about 10 dB, maybe a bit much. About 5 dB onto that. Probably gonna be.
Got my chain in a coffee can. I keep my chains in just in case I have to leave. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay if you dare. If I go, I'm going on fire. Let my anger take me there. Oh, this house, she's quite the.
I quite like that. Sounds lovely. Oh, Graham says, God, that delay is gorgeous. I know. It's beautiful. So, I think everything's sitting quite nice.
This she's a.
Maybe sort of a quick delay on the voice as well. Let's go E. Let's pull all that out.
Secret. Got my chains behind the bed in a coffee can. I keep my chains in just in case I have to leave. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay.
Okay, sweet. Let's get the harmonies in now. I don't know if there's much. I can see a bit of noise. No, doesn't seem to be. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a group track, stereo group track, that I'm going to put the two harmonies in. And I'm just going to send them over.
I'll go if you ask me to. I will stay if you do.
Unreal. So I'm going to pan them fairly hard.
I will go if you ask me to. I will stay.
That's actually quite sweet.
If you do.
Just going to add a loop on here.
Oh, if you ask me to, I will stay. If you do, I will go. If you ask me to, I will stay. If you do, I will go. If you ask me to. I will stay if you do. I will go if you is. I will stay if you do. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay if you do. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay if you do. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay if you do. I will go if you ask me. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay if you do. If I go, I'm going on fire. Let my anger take me there. Oh, this house, she's quite the talker. She
Creep. So we have quite a nice track there. Just took a listen on the headphones to mess with a few things. So we're maybe just going to do what Graham did and take a little listen to bits where just stuff seems to be falling on top of each other.
This she's all in secret.
So the fiddle is just fighting a little bit with the voice there, and it honestly just doesn't use it at all.
This
So we're just gonna cut from a bit there. Bit of a feed on to let it disappear.
This she's all in secret. Got my chains behind the bed. In a coffee can I have to leave.
And just that feed in coming into that chorus.
To leave. I will go if you ask me to.
Mad glitch in there, man. I assume it's because I am going live to multiple platforms and going mad with Cubase as well.
Oh, this house, it just like I burn her down. I will go.
Just gonna make that raise up to the chorus just a little bit more natural sounding. Well, technically unnatural, but
Down. I will go if you ask me to. I will stay if you dare. If I go, I'm going shameless. Let my anger take me there. This old house, she's quite the keeper, quite the keeper of you.
So that whole section there isn't really needed.
The shingles, man, is shaking.
Maybe get away with this.
The shingles, man, is shaking. The back door's burning through. This old house, she's quite the keeper, quite the keeper of you. If I go, I'm going crazy. Let my darling see me there.
And that's a song. Oh no, don't do that. Just gonna put a bit of a fade out there. Yeah, so we're actually sitting quite nice there at the moment. This isn't the intro. Let's get rid of that little fluff at the start there. Do. There's just a bit of noise from the vocal as well. Yeah, so that is more or less the track all done. As you can hear, it's turned out quite well. I've spent not even an hour on it. It's about 45 minutes ish, counting the start and the wee intro video and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, probably not even. I think the intro video was 10 minutes. Then that wee video of Graham talking was about 3 minutes or so. So, yeah, I haven't even spent that long on it at all. But it's sounding quite nice. Luckily enough, not everything was recorded on a phone, so we had good vocal tracks, guitar tracks, and acoustic guitar tracks to work with, which made it. Oh, something has disconnected. introduce you to. Oh, okay. Basically the program that we use for going live to Instagram, because Instagram's a little bit funny. Basically the program we use for it has an hour limit on it, which I forgot all about. So sorry to anyone that's watching on Instagram. But yeah, that's just Instagram being a little bit odd about the whole thing. But yeah, the track is more or less done now. So that you didn't miss out much. But yeah, that really shows you what you can do with the guts of 7 tracks. And yeah, fair enough, I'm using expensive enough plugins from Waves, but you can do more or less the exact same thing on your own built-in plugins in free DAWs like Cakewalk and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been a fairly interesting process. I've done during this sort of lockdown, I've done a few tracks with people that they've recorded stuff on their phones and they've wanted to be mixed, and yeah, it's quite interesting to be working with stuff like that, because I'm more used to working with sort of higher quality audio. But yeah, it's fun and it's good to see people keeping sort of the music going during all this. But yes, thank you very much for watching the video. I got 1 or 2 questions on Instagram when I posted a little question thing, and I think I've more or less sort of answered them in the videos. They were just things about types of plugins and stuff that are being used. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're watching on my personal profile, if you could go over to the Apex Music Facebook page and like it if you haven't already. If you're watching on mine or the Apex page, this is also being streamed to YouTube as well. And if you haven't already, it would be fantastic if you could go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video as well. It helps us out so much, and it will be just mean a lot if you could do that. Thanks very much for watching. This has been fun, and I hope to see you again during the next video. See you later. Before I go, actually, I'll be exporting this track and probably uploading it somewhere for you all to hear. It'll maybe be on like an intro video or something like that, or whatever, of our next live video when we're going live. Okay, thanks very much. See you all later.
Leaves on the trees remind me of home. Sway in the breeze, sing me asleep. And I'll always be wondering, do you still look for me? Do you listen to voicemails I left years ago? I'm not scared anymore, but I still see your face and the stars overhead as I sleep. When I first got here, I was alone, but you carry me now like you carried her then. We'll both grow the same in the end, and time will decide how I survive up and die without you by